Text.
Hey, Rena. Is the Sunday of the week after next okay for the get-together with your parents?
Hey Ken, thanks for working so hard lately. You're the best. Yeah, I think the week after next should be good. Mom and Dad should be at home then, so I don't see why not.
Okay, great. Let's go for a week on Sunday then.
Sounds good. Thanks for coming up with a day. I don't know about you, but I'm kinda nervous. I can't believe it's your first time meeting my parents, despite the fact that we're getting married. That's heavy.
No kidding. It's just been one thing after the other with work, and we never really got a chance, huh? This might just be the most nervous I've ever been in my life. Do you think I should wear a suit?
No way, silly. Just wear your normal clothes. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I was wondering if I should invite Mel to be there for the introduction too.
I guess I don't really mind. Mel knows I proposed to you, right? I wouldn't want to bother her on her day off work though, so only invite her if it's not a problem.
Yeah, about that. Mel hasn't been herself lately. She seems a little down. I was thinking it might do her some good to spend some time with everyone. It's been so long, I think it might be just what she needs.
Oh? I didn't know about that. I see. Wonder if something happened.
I've asked her a few times, but she keeps saying she's fine. Ever since we were kids, she's always been the type to hide how she's really feeling. Honestly, she never tells me anything. I don't know whether it's because we're twins, but even if she doesn't say a thing, I can tell when something's bothering her.
I see. I guess that is a little worrying. Hopefully being reunited with everyone will give her a break from her worries. Could be just what she needs.
Listen, on the off chance that she says anything to you about how she's feeling, would you do me a favor and hear her out? I want her to have someone she can talk to.
Huh? Me? Would she really unload her words onto me of all people?
She likes you, you know? She even praised you before. She said you always seem so relaxed and laid back, and that she feels like you're the sort of person she could rely on you if she needed to.
What? But I'm not like that at all. Okay, deal. If she says anything to me, I'll hear her out.
Thanks a bunch, honey. I'm counting on you. I'll tell my parents about the plan. Knowing them, they'll probably prepare an unnecessary large buffet.
I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I can always eat.
Good evening, Ken. Oh, it's been a while.
Hi, Mel. No kidding. How you been? It's not like you to message me. Did something happen?
I heard you and Rena are getting married, so naturally I wanted to congratulate you. Congratulations. Take good care of my big sister, okay? And don't forget to give me some attention every now and then, too.
Thanks. I'm gonna be going to your parents' place soon so I can meet them before the wedding. Did Rena tell you?
Yep, she told me. The thing is, I really want to go, but I have plans on that day, and I can't make it.
Oh, I see. That's a shame. But let's go out for a meal somewhere, some other time to make up for it. Just the three of us, okay?
Sounds good.
You're gonna be family when I marry your big sis after all. And that means you're gonna be stuck with me. I hope you're prepared. I want you to know that if you ever need anyone to talk to, I'm here. Whether I'll be of any use is a different matter altogether.
Ken, thank you. Listen, the thing is, I actually messaged you today because there was something I wanted to talk about.
Oh, you did? What is it?
Well, you see, I'm pregnant.
Wow, congratulations! I didn't know you had a boyfriend. Wait a sec. No way. Is he refusing to acknowledge it as his?
No, the baby is yours.
What? The baby is mine?
Yes, I'm pregnant with your child, Ken.
No, 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 no. Wait a sec. Me and you aren't even together, Mel.
I know that.
But in that case, you must know it's not possible for you to be pregnant with my kid.
That's where you're wrong. You don't know this, but I went on a date with you in my sister's place one time.
Wait, what? No way. No way! There's just no way. It's 100% impossible. No, 200% impossible.
The truth is, Ken, it was love at first sight. As soon as I saw you, I knew you were the one. I knew that we were meant to be together. On that day, Rena had a cold and she was feeling pretty under the weather. I could hear how ill she was on the phone, so I bought some vitamin drinks and headed over to her apartment. While I was there, she told me about how she was supposed to go on a date with you that evening. Then, after she fell asleep, something just came over me. I put on some of her clothes and headed out to meet you for the date, pretending to be her.
Wow. Oh my god.
There was a day where she canceled on you last minute, but then texted a little later saying it turned out she could go after all, right? Remember?
Well, yeah, I remember, but she said that was because you caught a cold and she was gonna stay home and look after you while you recovered.
That was because I took her phone when she wasn't looking and sent a phony message. Speaking honestly, I was almost certain you'd know it was me. But I liked you so much, I thought, what the hell, let's do it. What surprised me the most was that you didn't even seem suspicious.
Come on, Mel, are you serious? None of this makes sense. The entire chat history is still there. Surely Rena would have seen it when she woke up and realized what was going on.
Yes, which is why when the date was over, I apologized to her immediately. I think that's why she fell for it so completely. Of course, I didn't tell her about us sleeping together. I just played me going on the date instead of her as some kind of prank. Like a wanting to see how long I could trick you for kind of thing. Fun and games, you know?
I see.
The thing is, I've wanted kids for a long time, and that hasn't changed. But I'm not sure I can raise a child all on my own. To tell you the truth, I'm scared, Ken. Which is why I'm not going to ask you to acknowledge the baby. But I am going to need compensation in the form of child support payments, at least for a little while.
Compensation? What the hell?
I did think about raising it completely on my own, and honestly, I'd rather do it that way, but it's unrealistic. I'd be at work all the time, and I want to be there for the baby at least for the first year. I'm not going to ask you to pay child support for 20 years or anything. That would just be crazy. But at the very least, instead of that, and please understand I never wanted to ask you this, but could I ask you for a one-time payment of $40,000?
Holy freaking Jesus balls.
I'm sure I remember you and Rena talking about how you were saving up money in some kind of marriage fund, right? On top of that, you invest in stocks and shares, right? And didn't you say you dabble in crypto too? Surely you can put together a measly $40,000 for our baby.
Like hell I can!
What? Why not? Look, I know it could be argued that it was wrong of me to deceive you like that. But this is your own child we're talking about here. If you won't pay, I'll tell Rena and my parents that you got me pregnant. Do you really want that to happen? Rena would be heartbroken. She'd never recover.
Of course I don't want that to happen. It's just that I honestly have no recollection of sleeping with you.
I told you! I dressed up in Rena's clothes and pretended to be her when she canceled your date. You can either pay me $40,000 and this all disappears, or we can go public with everything and you marry me. Which will it be? I'm not unreasonable. If you marry me and take responsibility for your child, then we can forget about the money. It will, of course, involve you breaking up with Rena, though.
Look, Mel, I'm sorry, but none of this is making any sense to me. Can you give me some time to think things over?
Fine. But make up your mind quickly. We don't have forever here. Every second you spend hesitating over what to do is a second our baby keeps growing. Ken? Have you made a decision yet? What's taking so long? It's been an entire week since you said you needed more time.
Look, Mel, there's just no way I can go along with this.
Are you still intent on playing dumb? It's time to stop being stubborn and face reality.
You and Brenna are identical twins, which means the average guy on the street might confuse you for each other at a glance. But I know you both, and I can tell the difference. Your mannerisms, your personalities, the way you speak, the vibe is just different. All the makeup, hairstyling, or clothes in the world wouldn't make me mistake you for my own fiancé. I could drink 10 beers and still be able to tell you apart. And we didn't even drink that night.
Ken, you're lying, aren't you? Even our parents get us mixed up sometimes. Do you really think you know us better than them? That's ridiculous, and you know it. Face reality already.
Okay, so where's the proof it's my kid? If it's a DNA test you need, I'll be right there with you. Give me the cup and I'll shoot.
Wow, are you serious? Are you saying you don't believe me? I'm your fiance's sister. We'll be family soon. How could you be so horrible? I've had it with you. If that's your attitude, you leave me no choice. I'm telling Rena and my parents. You made me do this. This means war. I'll crush your wedding dream into little pieces.
Give it your best shot, because there's no way what you're saying is true. I've examined it from 1,000 different angles, and there's no scenario where what you're saying happened.
How can you be so sure? I can't believe you're gonna marry my sister. I'm finally seeing your true colors. To think you tried to escape responsibility for your own kid.
What you're saying is literally impossible, because I can't have kids.
Huh?
I'm impotent. Shooting blanks. My boys can't swim.
Huh? Wait, what? What? Why didn't you tell me that from the start? Are you serious? This has been nothing but a huge waste of time.
I see. Yep, I knew it. You were lying. The reason I went quiet for so long was because I was racking my brains to try to find any kind of reason you'd lie about something like this.
Wow. That's funny.
Excuse me? Which part is funny?
The idea of my sister marrying a good-for-nothing infertile loser like you. You're damaged goods. Do you have any idea how much my sister loves kids? You're doomed from the start. There's no way your marriage is going to last. You may as well not even bother and save yourself the hurt.
Rena said yes when I proposed, knowing full well about my condition. Which is why we planned on living happily together, even if it meant we could never have kids.
Well, that may be so. But what about our parents? Do you have any idea how many times they've told me how excited they are to meet their grandkids? You've got another thing coming if they think they'll allow this. I've got it. I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. If you pay me a generous fee and hush money, I'll agree not to tell my parents about your unfortunate condition. Believe me, you're done for if they find out. Think about it, everyone wins. You'd be a fool to say no.
Everyone wins? How so? Because all this sounds like to me is that you're so desperate for money you'll stop at nothing to get your grubby hands on it. Even if it means destroying your family's lives.
Whatever. You can think that if it makes you feel better. I guess it's not exactly wrong. I'm really a sucker for a fat wad of cash. But looking at it from your perspective, you want my mom and dad to like you, right? You must be really nervous about meeting them. You do want to be accepted, don't you?
Well, yeah, but that's exactly why I don't want to lie to them. Funnily enough, I just arrived at your parents' place with Rena.
Huh? But the wedding introduction wasn't supposed to be for another week.
True, but then you decided to pull this lunatic stunt of yours and the plan changed. I thought it'd be better if they heard it straight from the horse's mouth rather than you telling them in a malicious attempt to destroy their image of me. I decided it was best to start from a point of honesty and tell them the truth straight away.
Wait, if you're at my parents' place, does that mean you told my family about me?
It's not exactly that I told them. It's more that they're looking at my phone right now, watching this conversation play out in real time.
What? They're doing... What? Oh my god! What have you done? Are you trying to destroy your fiance's sister's reputation? What's wrong with you?
The only one who destroyed your reputation is you, young lady. You're the shame of this family. You disgust me.
Huh?
Oh, that wasn't me. It was your dad. So yeah, that's basically where we are right now.
I'm so sorry. Dad, please. I made a mistake, please. It was all just one big prank. A joke. I didn't mean it. Please, believe me.
How about you come over and explain yourself to everyone in person? To quote your dad, get your ass over here now! I think it's about time you took responsibility for what you've done.
If you'd have just kept your mouth shut and paid me the money, my plan would have worked.
Excuse me? Do you have zero self-awareness? In any case, you seriously need to get your head checked out. This isn't normal behavior. The one who hurt your sister is you, Mel. No, wrong. You hurt your entire family. It turns out the reason Mel was so desperate for money was because she'd become a regular at a local strip club and fallen in love with one of the gigolos, who periodically requested large sums of money from her, and she subsequently ended up in mountains of debt. To make matters worse, and I was gobsmacked when I found this out, but apparently this is the second time. The first time, her mom and dad saved her butt and paid off her $80,000 of debt. But they made it absolutely clear that they never be doing it again, and warned her vehemently against going down the same path. Sadly, even after being granted a second chance at life, she didn't learn from her mistakes. And this time, was even stupid enough to borrow from a black market loan shark. Rena and her parents were furious at her for trying to extort money out of me, and they came down on her like a ton of bricks. I don't think I've ever seen a human being look so terrified. In the end, they cut her out of their lives completely. Apparently, her parents had sold their car, canceled their insurance policy, and begged various relatives to come up with the money to pay off the debts the first time around. Rena even donated the entirety of her savings account to get her wayward twin sister out of this catastrophic mess she'd gotten herself into. It's hardly surprising that none of them had the patience to put up with her shenanigans a second time around. 6 months later, Mel showed up at her parents' house looking so worn out and beaten down by life that I can only describe her appearance as homeless. Of course, she lied about my role in everything, but it turns out she genuinely had been pregnant, and she came to beg for money to help with bringing up the baby. The baby daddy was none other than the male stripper she had fallen in love with. Needless to say, her dad sent her on her way before she even had time to say hello. By the way, the in-laws both apologized to me profusely for everything their daughter had put me through. They also had no issue with me not being able to have kids. In their words, as long as you two are happy together, you have our complete, unwavering support. With that, it was full steam ahead for the wedding. Up until then, I never felt any kind of positive emotion towards my condition. But in this case, it was precisely because I was infertile that Mel's efforts to deceive me ended in failure. Thanks to my boy's inability to swim, me and my family were able to cut an unbelievably toxic individual out of our lives forever. She might have called me damaged goods, but now me and Rena are living out our married lives in tranquil peace and harmony, and I've never been happier. I intend to continue being a good, honest husband from here on out, and live out my life in happiness with the woman I love.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
How was it, Emily?
How was what?
Your new job, how was the environment and stuff? Was it alright?
You worry too much. It was only the first day, you know. I'm still trying to memorize everything I need to do.
I guess so. But it's your first job in a while, right? I'm just worried that something might have happened.
Work is hard for everyone, you know. Besides, we communicate by text, so it's quite convenient. Even me, the deaf person, can get by. I mean, it might be because of the times, but it's nice that there's a way to communicate with each other even with masks on.
I see. That must be nice, I guess.
Also, the person I work with loves dogs. We had a lot of fun talking about them. I even showed her a picture of our dog Sumi.
Already slacking off at work, are we? Well, I'm glad the workplace environment seems friendly.
Yep, I'm just glad I'm able to work again on design.
I'm happy for you. I was feeling kind of guilty that you had to quit your previous job just because I found a new one and had to move. Especially since it seemed that you got along with your colleagues so well at your previous company. But it looks like things will go well. Finding a new job was hard, wasn't it?
It's not your fault, Jacob. My number one priority is to be with you. That's what makes me happy.
Thanks. I too am just glad that I'm able to spend every day with you, Emily.
Oh, it's time for me to eat lunch. See you later. Good luck with work.
Got it. Have fun today, okay?
Okay.
Thanks for inviting me to your house, Emily. Sumi was so cute. Dogs are such treasures, aren't they?
Thanks for coming today, Kimberly. Sumi looks so happy getting to play with someone. Come and visit anytime you like.
Well, if you say so, I think I'll come visit you every week. Your cooking was so good. I'll make sure to tell everyone at work.
It wasn't that good. I wanted to thank you for helping me at work always. I'm deaf, so I can't speak very well either. We mostly communicate by text, but still, there are times when we have to speak, right? It's a real help to have you at times like that. Even today, we had to rely on our smartphones to communicate. Thanks for spending some time with me even though it had nothing to do with work.
Don't worry about it. You helped me sometime at work, right? By the way, you're so lucky to have such a handsome husband. I was even taken aback when I first saw him. He even works at a famous company, right? I couldn't ask with the two of you right in front of me, but how did you two meet?
We met through a mutual friend. I don't deserve such a kind husband, right?
Yep, you're disabled after all. He's such a kind person, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Oops, sorry. I didn't mean to insult you. I just thought that someone like him could get any girl he wanted. I'm not saying that you're not fit to be his wife or anything.
It's fine. It's not like this is new to me.
Really? You're not mad? I shouldn't have called you disabled, right? Should I have said person with disability or person with special needs instead? Sorry, I really don't understand all the politically correct stuff, you know.
I really don't mind. Some places call me a person with special needs and others call me disabled, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, I see. People like that are so strict with names, aren't they? I thought that I might have insulted you by using the wrong term, but I'm glad that it was nothing. You have one of those disability notebooks, right? I envy you.
What?
Having one is pretty convenient, right?
Well, I don't know if I could call it convenient. It's more like I have to rely on it.
You get reduced taxes for having it, right? You must save so much money. I'm healthy, so I'm afraid I won't be able to get one.
Being healthy is much better than one of these notebooks, trust me.
Well, I guess. But you don't really look disabled from the outside, Emily. You should be thankful that you're one of the luckier ones.
I've never thought about it that way.
No need to be so modest. You were probably able to get that husband of yours thanks to that notebook. Oh, it's time for me to take a bath. See you tomorrow then. Say hi to your Jacob and Sumi for me, will you? Thanks for helping me out at the gym, Jacob. It was my first time, so you were a real help.
I'm glad I was able to help. But who knew we went to the same gym? There are probably better gyms for women like you know. The place I go to is full of guys, you know.
Really? I love the atmosphere. It was so intense.
That's a good point, I guess. Even a professional boxer goes to that gym, apparently.
Really? It seems I chose a really good gym to go to then. But I still don't understand how you use all that equipment. So teach me if we meet again, will you?
Got it. But it'd be much easier if you asked a trainer to teach you, not me.
I guess that's true. But it's much easier to talk to an acquaintance. By the way, how's Emily?
Emily? The usual, I guess.
I see. You see, there's something I wanted to talk to you about work, Jacob. Don't tell Emily about this, okay? Emily's attitude at work is pretty bad recently.
What?
Oh, it's not like she's doing it on purpose, I think. But she's deaf and all, right? The other employees know this already, but she's kind of just ignores the other people at work.
Is this true? Emily is such a kind and sensitive person, you know.
I know she is, but not everyone agrees. There's some people who think she's just being cold for just ignoring them. I'm doing my best to support her, but
Thanks for that.
it's nothing, as long as Emily doesn't notice it.
But Emily should really know about what the other employees think of her.
Hold on, this is a workplace problem, so I'll try to do something about it first. If I can't take care of it, then I'll ask you to cooperate, okay?
Got it.
You shouldn't worry too much either. You can always talk to me if there's something on your mind, alright?
Yes, thanks for that. But the gesture is enough.
Come on, you're pretty busy, right? I'm not just Emily's colleague, but I'm her friend as well, alright? It's alright if you depend on me too, you know.
Got it. Well, I'm almost home, so...
Okay, see you later then, Jacob.
There's something I want to talk to you about, Kimberly. Do you have time?
What is it?
I heard from Jacob that you two have exchanged contact information, but, well, how do I put this? You and Jacob have been texting each other frequently, haven't you?
Frequently? Well, I guess, maybe. We go to the same gym, so there are lots of things I want to ask him. I've never actually worked out before, so...
That's fine, but what about you inviting Jacob to go out somewhere?
What? I can't? That's not like a date or anything. I just thought that we could go and buy some training wear together. Aren't you exaggerating a bit?
Really? I just thought that one usually doesn't invite a married man to go shopping like that, especially if you know he's my husband.
What? You're so mean. I'm doing this precisely because you're my friend. Don't you trust me?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I won't be able to trust you anymore if you keep texting my husband and inviting him to go shopping like that.
Huh? I'm the only one who's wrong here? What about your husband Jacob, who always replies to my texts?
I don't really want to tell you this, but Jacob says that he's having a hard time with you as well. He says that he can't just ignore you because you're my friend. He also said that he keeps saying that he won't meet if it's just the two of you, but you keep ignoring what he says.
Oh, so that's what he's telling you. But I don't think that's what he actually thinks, you know? He looks like he's having so much fun talking to me at the gym. Maybe it's because communicating with you is so difficult.
I'm pretty sure that Jacob and I understand each other much more than you and I do. Besides, I kind of feel that your attitude towards me is pretty cold recently. Not just when it's about Jacob too. You ignore me sometimes at work, don't you? Did I do something to offend you?
What? Don't just ignore people all the time as well because you can't hear. You're saying that you can't ignore me, but I can't ignore you.
But that's because I'm deaf? I don't mean to ignore you.
It's the same with me. It's not like I mean to ignore you. Anyways, I think it's a bit unfair of you to call me out on Jacob's conversations. I got your permission today, remember?
My permission?
Did you understand what I said yesterday?
Huh? Did you say something to me yesterday?
What? You didn't hear me? Sorry, I said it out loud, so you might have not heard. I said that I would be having your husband. Then you nodded, remember?
What? I thought you asked me to check the designs.
Yeah, that's what I told you. It seems like you didn't hear me, but you did nod. I'm not the one who's wrong, right?
But what happened to you, Kimberly? You were so nice at first.
What? I was making fun of you from the start, remember? But you couldn't hear any of it, which was pretty hilarious.
Really?
I heard you were finally able to find a job after being rejected by so many places for being deaf. I remember thinking to myself, oh, that's so sad. But when I found out you had a handsome husband with a high-paying job, I was pretty pissed. Here I am working my ass off while you can take it easy thanks to that disability notebook of yours. Makes no sense, right?
It's not like I wanted to be born deaf, you know?
You say that, sure, but you are glad we were, aren't you? Since at the end of the day, we were able to find a good living thanks to it. Who knows if that'll last though, right? It seems Jacob prefers a healthy woman like me over a disabled person like you know? Maybe he's telling you that he's just trying his best not to cheat on you with me, but judging by his replies, that's not what's actually on his mind.
You called yourself a useless wretch when we first met, right?
Huh? What's the matter with you suddenly?
This is Jacob. I couldn't stand by watching anymore, so I had Emily give me her phone.
What? Is this really you, Jacob?
Yes, I'm afraid it is. You've got some nerve treating my wife like that.
What? But I only told her the truth. You'd prefer if your wife was someone who could actually hear like me, right? Not a deaf person like Emily.
You must have things completely wrong. No, I wouldn't prefer to have you as my wife over Emily. And it has nothing to do with being able to hear or not. For me, it's either Emily or nobody. And as she already told you, I was actually a bit puzzled as how to reply to you. You keep asking me the same thing over and over. At one point, I was even worried you had some sort of memory disorder. And the only thing you would talk about was how bad Emily's attitude was at work. To be honest, I didn't want to hear a word of it. But it's not like I believed anything you said, I didn't. Please don't talk to me or my wife ever again, will you? You're nothing but a nuisance, to be honest. Don't talk to Emily about anything other than work.
What? Why? You look so happy talking to me.
That's because I thought you were Emily's friend and colleague at work. I was just smiling to be polite. I was never interested in you, even for a moment.
Oh, I see. You're the type of person who can only love flawed people like her, aren't you? I've heard some people like you are like that. Oh, it's kind of sad, really.
Can you not insult us any further, please? Just hearing or seeing the things you say makes my head hurt. Oh, and I really didn't want to say this, but the only reason you came to that gym was because I was there, right? I don't know if you heard from Emily the places I usually visit or not, but you always seem to just accidentally bump into me. It was pretty creepy, to be honest. Just the other day I was headed to the cafe I always go to, but then I saw you looking through the glass trying to see if I was there, so I managed to escape.
What? Get over yourself, will you?
That's what I thought you would say, which is why I didn't say anything until now. And I'm sorry, but you're nothing compared to Emily. You have a twisted personality, enjoying hurting others, and can only act for yourself. You say that Emily's disabled, and yeah, sure, she's deaf, but you've got something wrong with you on the inside, which is, in my opinion, way more serious.
What? I'm not the one who's disabled. And here I was willing to marry you. You really are an idiot. Go ahead and live with that burden of yours your whole life.
Marry me? When did I say I was interested? If you say that Emily's a burden, then what, may I ask, are you? Garbage or something?
Why you? Do you understand how Emily's going to be treated at the workplace now that you've made me mad? I'm a full-time employee while your wife's just a part-time. You know has more authority, right?
On the occasion that the other employees happen to side with you, Emily will quit working there. There's no point working in such a rotten company. Besides, I always did tell her that she should find a job where she can work from home. You're her colleague, right? Then you must know how fast Emily is when it comes to work. Actually, go ahead. Show the company our conversations.
What?
But it's obvious, right? We've got to do something to defend ourselves when there's someone like you around. I don't want Emily to work anywhere near you, if possible as well.
Just hold on a minute. You're going to report this to the company? Aren't you kind of over-exaggerating?
What? Aren't you the one who suggested telling everyone about what happened? Didn't you say about how the others at the company would treat Emily once they found out? That was a threat, right?
No, that's not what I meant, you see. Just don't report it to the company, will you?
What? Why not? Just what exactly did you mean when you said that, then? Anyways, you stalking me and insulting my wife is enough reason. I won't forgive this. I'm even considering fining you for defamation.
No, don't, please.
I can't decide on my own, so I'll have to talk about it with Emily first, though. I recommend going over your past actions. Oops, sorry, maybe you're too stupid to do so. Sorry for being so impolite. I'm not really good with all that politically correct stuff, you know. Don't get mad, alright? I didn't mean to insult you. Emily, you alright? What's Kimberly like?
Actually, it seems she's not here today. Yesterday must have been pretty shocking for her, huh?
What? You're the one who were insulted by her, not the other way around. What's her deal?
I guess. I was kind of shocked and mad at the same time, but I was worried that what Kimberly said about me not being liked by my colleagues was true, so I talked with my boss today and...
It was a lie, right?
Yeah, it seems so. My boss talks a lot with his employees, but apparently he's never heard anything about it. People were actually praising me, it seems.
That's what I expected. And did you talk to him about what happened with Kimberly?
Yep, I was a bit hesitant at first, though. But my boss seemed to notice that something was wrong and told me to tell him if something happened. So I told him about yesterday and how Kimberly was stalking you. He said he'll talk to Kimberly about it too, before he does something about it.
I see. I'm glad he listened to what you had to say.
Yep, although he didn't tell me personally that he couldn't forgive the text Kimberly sent me though. Those were pretty mean, huh?
Truly. I definitely don't want to forgive her. You're being too nice on her, Emily.
Yeah, but for some reason I can't feel completely mad towards her. I mean, it's to be expected that there are going to be some people who think of me as Kimberly does. I know, I cause you a lot of trouble because I can't hear too.
Not once did I consider being with you a burden, Emily. I can't say the same for Kimberly, on the other hand, though. What she did was just wrong. You're not the one who did the wrong thing, Emily. Don't get that mixed up.
Thanks. I just sometimes think that something like this wouldn't have happened if only I were normal. Sorry, I guess I'm in a self-deprecating mood.
So you're saying that you're not normal?
Oh, well, yeah.
You look pretty normal to me, you know. Not once did I think you were strange. Not being able to hear is just one part of your identity, I think. Like how I can hear, but I'm terrible at running, right? I always lose you in races.
I guess.
Everyone's got their strengths and weaknesses. Of course, I do understand what you want to say. You're talking about how people in general can hear, but you can't, right?
Yep.
But there's nothing you can do about it, right? It's the same with any other disability from birth or from an accident. I know it must be hard having to deal with that reality, but that's not what's important with people, right? What's important is what's on the inside. That's why I was attracted to you in the first place, Emily. I mean, you are pretty hot too, I guess.
Which one is it?
Everything, really. I love everything about you, Emily. I'm pretty sure that even if we're reborn, that I'll still manage to find you and fall in love with you. That's how much I love you.
I get it already. I'm at work, so stop making me blush.
Sorry, but it's true, you know.
Yep.
Anyways, make me curry for dinner, okay? It's my favorite.
Got it. Thanks again, Jacob. I'm so happy to be with you. Kimberly began coming to work again the day after that. It was fine until there, but apparently she thought I had told no one about the incident and started spreading rumors about me. Our boss caught her doing it and she was given a strict caution for what she did. Of course, our boss told everyone that had heard her rumors what had actually happened, but this caused everyone in the workplace to find out what Kimberly did to me. And in the end, no one would talk to her anymore. I heard this later on, but apparently she was the type to not do her work and didn't even have much trust to begin with. She couldn't put up with the new environment and quit after 1 week to return to her parents' house. I was relieved she left, but later on, it was found that there had been a robbery at the workplace. The culprit was Kimberly, of course. Apparently, she stole a bunch of laptops and hard drives before she left. The company is currently in the process of suing her for the theft. The company doesn't want to be too hard on her and is trying to settle things with her privately, but apparently, she now also hates the company, which chose me over her and is refusing payment. I heard that the police will have to get involved if she continues to refuse. Some people refuse to go down without a fight, but Kimberly just seems to keep digging holes for herself to fall into. I've been scolded unfairly for not being able to hear many times in my life, but Kimberly is by far the worst. But kind people like Jacob and my colleagues are much more common. So I'll live life from now grateful to have met such people.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.